Time again for Tennessee, Tuxedo and his tales.
Come on and see, Tennessee Tuxedo.
Tennessee Tuxedo.
He will be parachuting for your pleasure, sailing seas in search of treasure, anything so he can measure up to men.
That's Tennessee Tuxedo.
A small penguin who drives a tan tuxedo, though he may fail. As he rides for fame and glory, still he tries in each new story tale.
In one of Tennessee's and Chumley's wildest adventures, they tried to start their own coal mine, which by a small error in engineering turned out to be under the office building of Stanley Livingston, keeper of the zoo. However, the adventure did not end there, for in digging the tunnel, they weakened the foundation, and gradually the building began to settle to one side. At first, it was not too bad, but every day it got worse, and worse, and worse.
Flunky!
Yeah, boss.
This has gone far enough. Get me out of here! Look at that building. Just look at it.
It looks a little cockeyed to me, Stanley.
You! It's your fault. You and that crazy coal mine. Ooh, every time I think of it...
You're right, Stanley. Absolutely right. And I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to straighten out that building and...
You are going to do no such thing. No. Don't you dare touch that building. You've done enough damage already. Now, I'm going to town and get a professional builder to straighten it out and put a new foundation under it. Come on, Flunky.
No sooner had Stanley left than Tennessee started making plans.
All right, now, Chumley, let's get to work.
But gee, Tennessee, how can we fix it?
Chumley, it's a very small building, and with my brains and your back, we can have it straightened out in no time. We'll start right here. You just lift up that corner, and I'll slip a rock under it. All right? Lift. Lift. Come on, Chumley, lift. It hasn't budged an inch.
Gee, Tennessee, it's just too heavy for me.
I know. We'll get a rope and pull it up straight. All right, Chumley, heave. 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 Well, Chumley, it's obvious that your brawn won't do it, so I'll just have to use my brains.
You mean you're going to lift it with your head?
No, Chumley, of course not. I mean, we're going to see Mr. Whoopi, the man with all the answers.
But how are we going to get out of the zoo?
We'll use escape plan number 4526A. You go get the old barrel, and I'll get the firecrackers. All right, Chumley, the fuse is lit, and we're about to shoot the works. Stanley's old fence can't stop us. Tennessee Tuxedo will not fail! Not quite enough firepower. We need just a few more firecrackers. Okay, here we go again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1...
Here's the riddle. What is it that asks no questions but gets many answers?
What is it that asks no questions but gets many answers?
I know. A doorbell. Well, Tennessee and Chumley. Nice of you boys to drop in. Get it? Yes. Well, what can I do for you today?
Quickly, Tennessee stated their problem.
And even Chumley couldn't lift it, Mr. Whoopi.
Well, now, that is a weighty problem. But I think we can solve it. Now, what you boys need is a machine.
Of course, a machine.
Like a steam shovel?
Don't be ridiculous, Chumley. He means a big crane to lift the building.
Neither one.
Those machines are much too complicated for you to use. Oh, indeed. I'm talking about what is called a simple machine.
Simple?
Yes. Remember, a machine is any device that does work for you. There are 6 simple machines. The lever, the wedge, the pulley, the screw, the inclined plane, and the wheel and axle.
Now, where can we get one of these simple machines to help us lift Stanley's old building?
Anywhere, my boy. Simple machines are all around us. Come on out to the barn and I'll show you all of them. Now, here we use a simple machine to get water out of the well. Water is pretty heavy, and it will be hard work to pull a bucket of water out of the well. But by using the wheel and axle, it comes up easily. The simple machine has worked for us.
Fine. But we can't use a wheel and an axle to straighten out that building.
Not unless it was at the bottom of a well.
Chumley.
Well, here's another simple machine used for lifting things. It's called a pulley. Now, this big barrel is much too heavy for Chumley to lift.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hook on the pulley, even you can lift it, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's another very simple machine for moving heavy weights. It's called an inclined plane. I couldn't lift the barrel up to that platform, but if I use this board to make an inclined plane, I can roll the barrel up without any trouble at all. And this old piano stool is a good example of the 4th simple machine called the screw. Look closely and you'll see it's really an inclined plane wrapped around a shaft. When Chumley sits on the stool, I can give him a spin, and up he goes.
But, Mr. Whoopi, we can't use piano stools on Stanley's building. What simple machine can we use?
Patience, patience, my boy. I'm coming to it in a second. First, I want to show you the most simple of the simple machines. It's called a wedge. See, if I hit this log with a hammer, nothing happens. But if I put the wedge to work and hit it, the log splits in 2.
Very interesting, Mr. Whoopi, but we don't want to split logs. We want to lift a building.
Of course, my boy. I'm going to show you how, with a simple machine called a lever, it can make you strong enough to lift Chumley with one hand. Think of it. Now, a lever needs a helper called a fulcrum. Now, we'll just use this log for the fulcrum and this board for the lever. Now, when Chumley stands on the short end and you push down on the long end, you can lift him with one hand.
Wow.
And the longer the lever, the more you can lift.
Gee, Tennessee, if you had a lever long enough, you could move the whole world.
Don't be ridiculous.
That's just what Archimedes said 2,000 years ago. He's right, Tennessee.
Then we'll have no trouble lifting up the corner of the building.
Not at all, my boy.
Phineas J. Whoopi, you're the greatest. Thanks a million. Come on, Chumley. There you are, Chumley, all set with the lever and fulcrum. Now, when I lift up the side of the building, you shove one of those big rocks under it. All right, here we go. There now. Does that look level?
It looks a little too high on this side.
Oh, well, easy to fix with our simple machine, Chumley. We'll just put a rock under the other side. There, now it's level.
I think it looks just a trifle higher on this side.
You're right, Chumley. So we'll just put another rock on the other side.
But try as they did, they could not seem to get the building level. First they raised one side and then the other. Back and forth. Back and forth. Until at last, when Stanley Livingston came back.
Yeah! Tennessee Tuxedo!
Hiya, Stanley. Got your building almost level. One more rock and...
It's 40 feet in the air!
So what's a few extra steps?
Oh, back to your quarters immediately!
But Stanley...
Now, before I lose my temper!
All right, Stanley, if that's the way you feel about it. Come on, Chumley.
Tuxedo, when I get my hands on you!
Gee, Tennessee, I wonder what simple machine we should use now.
A simple flying machine would be very handy.